Hello and welcome. You're watching youtube.com/NDTV. I'm Ankita Mukherjee, and this is News of the Day, where we go beyond the headlines and tell you a lot more about the big stories of the day. Well, today we'll take a look at the latest on the hanging of the Nirbhaya convicts, which might now get delayed by several days. Now, why has this happened? Well, remember, a Delhi court issued death warrants for the 4 convicts in the Nirbhaya case. Now, the convicts, of course, are, as you know, Mukesh Singh, Vinay Sharma, Akshay Thakur, and Pawan Gupta. Now, it's just 5 days now that's left till the date of the execution that was stipulated by the Delhi court, which said they would hang on the 22nd of January at 7 a.m. Well, what has happened is essentially that the execution now cannot take place because one of the convicts, Mukesh, has filed a mercy petition before the president. Now, Mukesh and Vinay, in fact, had filed their last legal option in court, a curative petition, which was turned down by the Supreme Court. Following that, the only other recourse that was left to them to challenge their hanging or have their hanging commuted to a life sentence was a mercy petition before the president. And Mukesh decided to exercise that option, and his lawyers have gone ahead and filed that mercy petition. Now, the process over here is that the president might decide on that actually any moment now, even if he does it, say, today or tomorrow or latest by day after, and he rejects the mercy petition, as he has done in the case of one of the other convicts. Even then, the law states that the convicts have 14 days following the rejection of their mercy petition. So they must have 14 days notice between the rejection of the mercy petition and the actual date of the hanging. Now, with the date of the hanging just 5 days away, of course, that is not going to be possible. And today, the Tihar Jail administration told the court that this is how things stand, and with the date just 5 days away, this is something that is now no longer possible, and that they are now requesting for a new date. So what had happened? Let's just backtrack a little. The court, in fact, had said yesterday that the death warrants stand, that they were not going to do anything to change the date of the execution. But if Mukesh wanted, if the convict wanted, then he could approach a court and decide about that. But now Tihar Jail administrators also saying that this is not possible because given the rules, given the norms, given the precedents in such matters, even after a mercy petition is rejected, the convicts must be given 14 days notice before the execution can take place. So what else has happened? Well, it's also become rather political. And what we know now is that Prakash Javadekar, Union Minister, has actually put this on the Aam Aadmi Party government. Now, what is the Aam Aadmi Party government's role in all of this? Well, it seems Prakash Javadekar's contention, at least, is that the Aam Aadmi Party government, which should have given notice to these convicts to file their mercy petitions 2.5 years ago, failed to do so. And because of that, this process has dragged on further. Now, the AAP, remember, this is election season. It's less than a month to go for Delhi's elections, which take place on the 8th of February. So any issue that has any connection with Delhi or the Delhi government in any way is likely to get politicized, and that's exactly what has happened over here as well. The AAP government, for its part, says, no, we haven't delayed anything at all. We have done everything as speedily as possible, and they've effectively washed their hands of it. But remember, Nirbhaya's parents have already gone on record post the issuance of the death warrant, saying that they finally felt that this was one step closer to justice, that they were finally going to get closure in the case, and they have been very insistent that the hanging must take place at the earliest. Remember, it was on the basis of their plea that the hanging process be expedited that the court, in fact, issued the death warrants and set the date as 22nd January and set the time as 7 a.m. of that morning. But clearly that is now not going to happen, and naturally, the maximum disappointment is being faced by Nirbhaya's parents right now. Asha Devi, Nirbhaya's mother, breaking down as she said that, it seems as though the Indian legal system is entirely geared towards favoring the convicts, and they seem to get extension after extension and exploit every legal loophole there is. Is there never going to be justice and closure for us? Now, remember, this case has already been 7 years in the making. It was the 16th of December 2012 when this young woman who was training to be a physiotherapist, she and her boyfriend boarded that bus, and that was when these 6 men came together and first gang raped her, mutilated her, tortured her, and then of course she died a few days later. One of them, Ram Singh, allegedly committed suicide while being in Tihar Jail. The 6th, in fact, was a juvenile. He has served his 3 years in a detention center, and he was released 3 years after. But these 4, Mukesh, Vinay, Pawan and Akshay, justice has finally caught up with them. So even if this hanging doesn't happen on the 22nd, it is bound to happen sooner rather than later. Remember, the president has already rejected the mercy plea of one of those convicts, and it's very likely that he's going to do the same with Mukesh's plea as well. However, for the moment at least, this is now going to get delayed. Prison authorities saying that even if a convict's mercy petition is dismissed, he's entitled to a notice period of 14 days before the execution. So that's what we know for now. As we said, Delhi's Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia coming into this whole political argument over this, saying that his government had rejected Mukesh Singh's mercy plea at lightning speed. So in fact, he is staving off all this criticism that the BJP and Prakash Javadekar have leveled against them. So what is the next step? Well, all eyes on the president and what he decides to do, and whether that decision comes tomorrow or day after at the earliest. Even then, post that, the convicts are expected to get at least 14 days notice. So we're talking about at least a week or 10 days, if not longer, beyond the 22nd of January, which is currently 5 days away. We'll continue to track this story. For the moment, thanks for watching.